Hello and welcome to the newest installment of Resident Firelord yaps away at the screen because he has nothing better to do at the moment. Today's topic is Fire Guild War number 83 and what it entails and how it actually went. I think, given my current situation, which means that I converted to Primal about 3 months ago or so, I am uniquely situated to be able to compare the last Fire Guild War, which was fully Magna for me, and now the Guild War that I performed after being fully Primal. So I'm gonna begin with the ratings. So I am pretty happy with the outcome this time. Because, for example, I beat my previous amounts almost by double. I nearly doubled my points from the previous Guild War, which was Water. My averages were pretty solid compared to the last one as well. And the overall rank is satisfactory considering I have not really gotten close to like top 20k that much previously, but now I've gotten past the point and was approaching top 10k. But genuinely, the like point and honors inflation of Guild War is showing no signs of stopping, and it's gonna be pretty bad on the next element because just more ridiculous characters will come out. Comparing directly to the previous Fire Guild War, I've multiplied my points many times over because this was the reign of the third man. And as some people will know, third man was actually a difficult boss because you were basically forced to make either boogeyman comps or normal attack damage comps, which was pretty terrible because the fire roster back then was rather weak. And I'm gonna like reinforce that claim with showing you the Gala history. So this is the current Guild War, this is the previous one. So directly after previous Guild War, Atum got released, who is one of the strongest fire characters in existence. Then we got Kurapika from a collab banner, who is also very strong for this type of content. Then we got Asuka, whom I don't really care about because I don't have her. We got Maria Teresa, who is a decently good survivability unit. And then we got Sandira and Versusia. And all of that stuff, all of these fucking phenomenal toys that would have been great to use on the Guild War were only brought in after the Guild War fucking ended. So, yeah, this Fire Guild War was hard. This one was not. And basically, from the last Guild War to now, we got some pretty significant, significant power-ups in terms of units and weapons across the board, and it basically shows. Like, my like poor performance back then aside, because I wasn't really motivated because the Guild War was just pretty hard to compete. Although I should have just locked in and like at least gotten 5 billion honors as is the custom. But yeah, comparing one to the other, the previous one was much harder. But that could also be partially attributed that I was Magna, and Magna back then really sucked. Just 2 side notes for the recording. I'm gonna be taking small hydration breaks because it's hot and my fan is running, and if you hear it in the background, I cannot exactly do anything about it because if I turn it off, I will fucking die. It's so hot. Speaking of hydration breaks. Yeah. Now let's get to the actual point. Begin from with some like miscellaneous stuff. Only 5 celestial drops across the entire thing. I haven't reduced any. But yeah, 5,000 fights and only 5 Celestial drops, so basically 1 Celestial per 1,000 fights cleared. Very, very poor ratio, but at least I got something, you know? It's tolerable. No Sunlight Stone this time. We're gonna get it next time. No worries. But yeah, the tier list of my used weapons, characters, and summons is on the left of the side of the screen. And I'm just gonna like start explaining why I think one and the other. So, beginning with summons. Versusia, I mean, by this point everyone knows that this summon is incredibly powerful. I used it many times in my setups. Mostly because it's just lets you get so many extra things from just playing the game as it should be. For example, my Nightmare 250 setup heavily relied on the damage boost and the extra dispel from Versusia. And basically, if you're just using her passively or actively, she is always good and she's always worth considering. She is probably the best summon for Guild War that you can think of. And yeah, it's not exactly an exaggeration. Yachima was useful across basically everything up until Nightmare 250, because yeah, you're in 250 you're thinking more long term than just 3 or 4 turns of burst. Just let me find the setups that I was actually using. Yeah, I can actually. Yeah. So let's actually begin from this. So my EX Plus is just no buttons, no summons attack, because this grid allows Vamnus to hit 60k HP, so her S1 is active turn 1, and you just attack. It kills the EX Plus boss in one turn of attacking. No problems there. Next, Nightmare 95 comp. This was the comp that I was using for Nightmare 90, 95, and I think still 100 and 150, because with all abilities activated, like Percy's Tag Team and Zeta's S1, it was clearing Nightmare 150 alongside these abilities from Lancer Origin as well. Simple comp, simple setup, and very nothing out of the ordinary. Yatima procs the Sun and the Echo summon. Nothing too crazy in this comp. For Nightmare 200, or as it's called here, work. Up until round 3, I was using this comp for higher nightmares, because yeah, it clears in a couple of turns. It's decently fast, but it also doesn't require any like special attention. And yeah, it uses some interesting mechanics. Like I was today's years old, where I understood that Ragazzo's special effect can be extended. So Ragazzo can have this ability for 3 turns after Kane extends it, which is quite interesting because I didn't know that. Also, Kane actually came through way more reliably and way more interestingly than I anticipated. I was like passively aware of the things that this character can do, but I never really used him that much because yeah, he's a fire seasonal that is not Wandus or Atum. I'm not exactly interested, you know. And also, as also returning to the tier list a little bit, Aglovale got to shine a little bit as well, because he's a very decent attacker. His damage output is pretty okay. His debuff immunity from S1 and the Dispel Cancel is also very welcome. And this exact setup basically cleared Nightmare 200 without too much hassle while I was working, and just didn't require much extra attention. And also, it was a little bit interesting because it used Aggravate, which is why I'm happy with it. Now, Nightmare 250 comp. Not this. Where is it though? Yeah, here. So, my Nightmare 250 comp. Higu main hand, Chrysor, by the way. So, Chrysor with Higurashi, Heat of the Sun secondary. And just, on the last round, I was mothering this setup a little bit more. That means I was proccing summons in a specific order. So, first turn I allowed Versusia to go through. Second turn I summon the backline Agni. Then summon Sun. Then I think 000, Beelzebub, and so on and so forth. Manually, using summons, but everything else got full auto. Because, yeah, it's shaved off a couple of seconds and allowed me to just clear more reliably. But this setup was basically never under any, risk of wiping, simply because Extinction Blades exist. Like, these two weapons give so much survivability that with Atum, Elmot, and Civil Bara, you have no right to perish from anything. Even if FMC tanks like 10 hits of the Reflect, which is 70k damage, you still should be pretty okay, considering Hit of the Sun's Drain and the natural dodge from Higurashi. Nothing too crazy. There were faster setups, of course, but I am lacking in the department of Rhine Fists and Mikaboshi Gauntlets, so I am not like fully developed yet. But 250 was pretty comfortable, all things considered. I am certain that Magna would be struggling a little bit more, considering Magna doesn't have access to better Exaltos, multi-attack rates, and yeah, the amazing defensive option that is the Extinction Blade. Those are the setups that I used mostly. Nothing great otherwise. Now I'm just gonna return to the tier list. Versusia Yatima. Actually, I only spoke about Versusia so far. Yatima is an excellent summon to be main summoning because instantly getting 2 effects of the summons is very powerful from one button, and it just allows you to burst like up to 150 without too much of a hassle and too much thinking. Agni. Agni is an excellent summon. Not much nuance when it comes to Agni, because a massive hit, extra buffs, extra stats, and charge bar cycle, very good. Nothing like amazing, because it's a main primal summon, so there is only so much that can be said about it. I am 100% certain that Primal is so much more comfortable than Magna in this specific situation. Getting to the very good characters of tier, the highest tier, so SS, we have Atum, who is hiding from May. Yeah. So, there's no controversial opinion that Atum is probably one of the most powerful units for fire in the game. And I was using something like Cheeky to cycle Fenix a little bit faster, because even if every single cast eats like 12% of his HP, he still has so much defense that he can basically comfortably take it. Atum is amazing. Extra buffs, CA reactivations, if only one time. charge bar cycling, more damage, more sustain, more cycling, etc., etc. If you play this game, you know what Atom does and how exactly how strong he is. There's no like extra additives when it comes to this character. Now the star of the show for this specific Guild War, which is FLB Elmot. I was initially a little bit skeptical about this character because I didn't really like him before he got his FLB. He was just a little bit like that personality didn't really captivate me. But now, after his FLB, he is very respectable. Like for fights that you will be facing a lot of special attacks, he is so good. Because after a specific condition, which is 10 or more buffs, his S1 activates twice, which is a double dispel, which activates after a foe activates a special attack. So every special attack you get a double dispel with some damage, and you also get some buffs. Also, it restores HP at the end of the turn, so you get some more sustain. Fire specs, number of buffs. Yeah, it's like the character after FLB became very good for what he was used for. He's not high level material, but for content like Guild War and like maybe M3 raids and stuff, because Tiamat like special attacks a lot and gains a lot of buffs, he is very respectable after his FLB. And yeah, and he also works very efficiently with characters like Atom, who just wants to acquire his stacks faster, so he can finally start attacking fully and then cast CA reactivation ability and all that stuff. Elmot is, I would say, a 9.8 unit at the very least. Coming next, Fro. So, the newest addition to Relink. Well, what can I say about the character that hasn't been said already? Backline passive, amazing. You can never get enough of extra skill specs. When she comes to the front line, dispels, debuff extensions, heals and cleanses. Overall, phenomenal character, very good evoker. I honestly cannot wait until they give her Transcendence, because then she will probably be even more powerful than she already is. Yeah, she's not really a complex unit, but she's very good. And basically, every single setup that I was using was either using her backline or at some point she was coming to the front. Next one, Percy. Grand Percy, which means haha, funny tag team. Which helped alongside some specific situations. But yeah, again, I will die on this hill that Percival is not a 10. He's a 9.9, a very strong 9.9. But yeah, he was obviously very useful because a tag team is pretty powerful, but because of the overuse of him for such trivial matters, he is slowly becoming the tag team, and he's not a character with like gameplay or personality. He's just a tag team delivery boy. Yeah. Next one, Grand Zeta, if I can find her. Yeah, here. Oh, this character mostly. I didn't use Zeta mostly for her like combat capabilities and her S1. She was just there to proc her Serious Light every third time that character's triple attack, which is just a basically skill capped nuke that activates by itself. So again, most burst teams made use of her because she's just dealing extra damage for free. I think I used her a couple of times. I think when I was experimenting with Nightmare 200 setups, I used her briefly, but the lack of debuff resistance was apparent, and so I settled for Aglovale instead. Very good character, very versatile. Next up, Mika, my favorite Primarch, aside from Sandalphon. Where is she? Yeah. There was actually, I mean, aside from the backline passive and all that stuff, I was actually briefly using her as a frontliner when my Nightmare 200 setup was still charge attack based. Because her in combination with Sandira allows the Basilica effect to linger for a little bit longer than just 3 turns with the full turn unchallenged. And she was actually performing pretty decently. Like, aside from the fact that she's mostly used in the backline, she would be a pretty competent frontline combatant if only her S1 wasn't targeted. I really like this character, but I can also admit that she has her problems. Don't look at the artifact, it's just a random one. Next up, my favorite fire burst unit, Ragazzo. So yeah, as I already said, I was today years old when I found out that his S3 can actually be extended, and instead of 2 turns you can get 3 via Kame. And yeah, like, you get 3 turns of casting 2 abilities, one of which dispels twice. Yeah, and the capabilities of this character are just very high. And just being able to pop off, take some buffs down with you, and then bring, for example, Frau to the front line is just very powerful. And yeah, I'm very grateful that Ragazzo is actually in this element, because he enables some very quick switch ups in team comps. But overall, yeah, I also like him personally because his personality is a little bit it breaks the archetype a little bit. He is a hot-headed fucking guy who is really trigger happy when it comes to fighting, but his also signature thing is he likes reading books, which is kind of funny to me. But okay, that's about it. Now, my goat, my rebalanced master and the coolest samurai in the game, Zelbara. So, this character shined most brightly in 250 because, yeah, he's just really good after that rebalance. After that rebalance, his consistent charge attacks with very good damage, by the way. High damage numbers, multiple hits, dispel, extra buffs. Like, I can sit here and talk hours upon hours why I like this character so much. But overall, I prefer him over Sandira in 250, and that is for things that I will elaborate upon when I actually reach Sandira on the tier list. Next one is Kane. Holiday Kane actually showed up a decent amount in this guild war. Where is he? There. So he showed up a decent amount simply because he is a normal attack oriented unit and skill damage, has auto dispels, and overall combos nicely with the setups in fire that do not gain elemental echoes in any other way than for example his. And there is a degree of randomness because sometimes when he doesn't land the debuff resistance and you don't have a character like Aglovale, you can just straight up get shadowed and not be able to do anything for like 3 or 4 turns. But overall the character is very good. Like for specifically like coordinated burst, he is very good. And also the part about his CA reactivation upon 15 or more buffs is also a pretty decent like addition. However, he is not high level friendly and only will basically be relegated to a GW utility character. Next up is the most overhyped unit in Fire's roster, which is Holiday Wamdus. And I do not, again, every time I have to take on a unit that somebody thought that they are a 10, I need to rephrase that. I do not think Wamdus, Zeta, or Percival are 10s. They are very powerful 9.9s at the very best. Like, you are not convincing me that Wamdus, Percival, or Zeta are 10s. And I will die on this hill multiple times. However, for one turn specific burst, Wamdus is excellent. Like, just... it requires some team building around her, but overall, character is great. Yeah, the 9.9 rating is earned, a 10 is not. And just simply being able to attack, for example, my EX Plus comp, and just the higher nightmares, or just from 90 to 150, she has seen use. And that will continue to do so, and if I had Nebula Gauntlets, I would be even more happy to utilize her. Now, characters over. Let's get to the stars of the show, basically. So we got first-hand experience in what occurs when illustrious weapons get transcendence and immediately get used in a guild war, and I can like pretty confidently say that both of these weapons are phenomenally good now. Like, it was never in my doubt that Higurashi is overpowered now after reading all of these abilities, but I think for content like GW, like special attack spammy one, yeah, I'm definitely by the way, I need to interlude. Yes, I have found, in fact, my whimsy. I am now a funny fellow, as you can put it. I have decided to take Mistral because, yes, Fire Lord rights need to be upheld. And I do not regret using my ticket on Mistral because this weapon is very, very, very good for stuff like just simply having that extra proc at the end of EX Plus to finish off the boss if you're lacking. Give me a second. Yeah. No doubt in my mind that the weapon itself is worth the amount of moons or the 9k like yen that you're spending for it. And yeah, I do not regret the choice that I made because it has shown up alongside many different setups. Even some people were running 250 with it, which does not exactly surprise me because the sustain and the damage and all of that jazz is very, very good. There is just, yes, it's still a whimsical weapon, as I say. It's still a whimsy given form, and just now that whimsy is accompanied by a very strong performance. Yeah. Higo, I think I said everything about Higurashi that needs to be said. Very good weapon, very high damage, very high overall utility. Now, proceeding to components of the grid. I'm just gonna like briefly go over each weapon because some of these do not really deserve that much time spent on them. So, Celestial Katana, mostly on it. it like... I'm looking for a word. What I mean by this inclusion is every single celestial weapon that could be used, and that also applies to the Ultima Spear below. Celestials and the Ultima are still very strong weapon options when you just don't know what you want to put in that one slot. You basically cannot go wrong with having these extra all-sided boosts. And Ultimas especially have the extra 10% charge bar gain and the extra skill caps and all that stuff. So good weapons and still will remain very, very useful for certain situations. Crimson Scale. PNS is PNS, as a certain individual needs to say. PNS is PNS. There's no like this weapon won't go out of meta because it's good, and that's basically all I have to say about it. Now, the Fire's Exalto, which is Overriders. I used from 2 to 3 in this specific Guild War because just it's one of the... I think Fire and Dark got the best Exalto for Primal because the Big Death Strike is always a desirable ability, and especially in a like hybrid scenario when you're running Chrysor, you get a lot from just running these weapons. And yeah, Exalto is also Exalto. It's good, basically no matter the element unless you're Earth. Next up, Ixaba. I recently decided to invest in my Ixaba because the weapon seemed to be useful with the extra 10% triple attack rate, and it proved itself useful eventually. There were certain setups where I used my Ixaba, which makes me rather happy because those bars weren't wasted. Now the Interere thingy, which is Extinction Blades. I used 2 to 3. I used 3 briefly because I just didn't know what to put in the next slot. Again, not to be like too long upon, not to dwell too long upon Extinction Blades. Very good weapon. If you want Defensive Awaken, you can. But overall, I think if you're running fully like Mark II Extinction Blades fully awakened, you should prefer to go Attack Awakening instead, because the amount of defense that you're getting from a big garrison that's boosted two-sidedly, you have enough defense. Heat of the Sun. Now, this weapon had a little bit of a specific use case, because my 250 setup used Chrysor with this as the secondary weapon, which is a decent choice because that makes you cycle extra attack, which boosts your MC's survivability, which is nice because MC is the first one that's tanking the reflect, and there are situations where MC is forced to tank the entire reflect, so you need some extra sustain on MC specifically. And also, having the double strike on one unit ensures that Versusia basically procs its aura every single turn. So, Heat of the Sun is not something that I expected to use in this Guild War, but I did pretty extensively, and it's I'm pretty happy because I do hope that after all Evoker Transcendence, this weapon becomes even better. Now, the most normal weapon, Dark Opus, in this case Primal. I cannot be asked to change from my specific Versusia setup, so I just stay with CA stats and Supremacy Pendulum. And that is mostly because I don't have any feathers. I don't do Fazero often enough to be able to swap keys at whim. At a whim. Yeah. Dark Opus is Dark Opus. There is not much to elaborate upon here. Ultima weapon, everyone knows. Now, partly powerful pop gun, which is the glory weapon for fire. I used it more than I am willing to admit. Because when you're running one-sided primal, even with a level 25 glory from Higurashi, you are not hitting caps in your like grid specific stuff, and I just like those stats to be rounded out a little bit, and this weapon helped with that greatly. Also, extra special cap on Higurashi hits it goes pretty far, I'm not gonna lie. Next up, Sennen Goji. Every single setup used 2 of those, like no exceptions. This was probably the most locked slot in the grid every single time. Double Sennen Goji or bust. There is no denying this weapon. Like the first impalement for fire was hit just right. Double Sennen Goji or bust. It's there is no other way for primal fire. Destroyer weapon is destroyer weapon. There is not much discussion to be had about the power of these specific like additions to your grid. Destroyer is destroyer. CA stats, nothing incredible to speak about. It's just every setup uses destroyer. If you have it, lol. Now, coming up to the tier lower. Would be great if the theme was a different one, but yeah. Bubs still seen some use, either just from extra stats to MC or the this spell on 250 at 50%, because there is a lot of buffs that you need to get rid of, and just it doesn't cost you much to just click the summon, you know? Bubs is strong and very widely used. Next up, Wilna's summon. I think I used the summon call once or twice during the entire GW, but mostly just serves as the extra 40% skill boost. No, not much to elaborate upon here. The Sun. 3-man double strike. There are no other explanations that are needed. It's just that powerful, and I actually don't know why I didn't put it in SS tier, because the Sun is basically it's the enabler of so many different combos. Yeah, like this is a mismatch. Sun should have been in the SS tier. I have no idea why I put it below. 000. I do not use setups that revolve around falsehood on your opus. So this was basically just the aura and the occasional summon. So it was passive. It was a really passive like occurrence in the setups, but there is no denying the power of 000. So yeah, it's good. It's still good, and it will continue to be good. Characters. Next up is Tien. My beautiful Tien. Yeah. Didn't see that much use outside of backline passive, unfortunately, but even then, she's still a very powerful unit. I just have a huge bias towards her because, yeah, she's one of my faves. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, the savior of fire. Sandira. So, my initial approach to Guild War is I do not care that Fated Chain is not present. I am going to run Sandira. And for a moment I did. Like, I was truly making an effort to utilize Sandira to her fullest potential, but I just realized that there is no real like point to it. Like the fact that there is no fated chain cuts her. Are you serious? Cuts her like power by a huge amount. Like let's begin with the fact that she never has CA reactivation of her own, which limits her damage. She never has, because she never has CA reactivation of her own, her cooldowns are not cut fast enough. And there is a high tendency for her S2 to just run out and no longer boost your cycling and stuff. And she's just a little bit underwhelming when it comes to running her when a fated chain is not present. Like, don't get me wrong, when a fated chain is present, she's a beast. She's a 10 out of 10 all times of the week. But when there is no fated chain, she falls off pretty hard. She was still usable, but she was just not that, like, flashy that I expected her to be. I still like her. I still think she's the savior of Fire's charge attack teams, and yeah. And now, one of my favorite characters, Yukata Aglovale. I like this character a lot because I like crest gameplay, and unfortunately, the only element that has crest gameplay is dark, and Aglovale would be a phenomenal unit for crest gameplay akin to just spamming them with dark, because his design speaks to me on so many like levels. He's a very good character. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna like glaze too much, but he's good. He's good, and if you find yourself in a situation when he shines, he is very much worth his salt. I'm just gonna switch the song because this already played. Yeah, and I'm glad I found the use for him in this guild war. Even if it was only for Nightmare 200 and full autos. Now the most anticipated unit of the year, Kurapika. Well, he's not in SS because he is, even though he is powerful, he's not that powerful to warrant being on the highest tier. He definitely seen some use even for me because he is just strong. The extra 2 dispels every turn, accompanied by a permanent double strike after oging, well, semi-permanent. Healing on special attack. By the way, this healing is pretty high. Extra echoes, extra crit, extra debuffs. Yeah, like, he is good. He is very good, and he also fits decently well into charge attack based comps because those comps can support him. For example, one of my specific setups at some point. For 250, used Sevilbara, Ragazzo, and Atum with my normal Chrysor. And after Ragazzo went away on the beginning of the third turn, Kurapika jumps in and instantly gets Atum's 200% charge bar and CA reactivation. Of course, the CA reactivation never actually goes off, but he instantly gets boosted to 200 and can become online basically instantly. Those specific mechanics are very good for him. And yeah, he can hold his own. And basically there were multiple occasions where the reflect that he was attempting to dispel got him to like 4k HP, and on the next turn he's just fine and he gained like 10k because the defense that he gets from these abilities and the self heal is remarkably strong, and he cannot be underestimated by any means. It's yeah, he proved himself in this guild war, I think. Now, one addition that I didn't use that often is Lord of Flames. Lord of Flames is a strange weapon because it doesn't see that much use anymore because, let's be honest, fire grids are so incredibly crowded that most of the time you just cannot fit it in. But I ran it a couple of times. For example, I was considering running it for as a secondary weapon for Chrysor when I was pairing my charge attack teams with Sato, so her dispel goes off like more often. But overall, a little bit underused, but it still got used enough times that it warrants an S+. Now the S tier, which is only summons, which I used only passively, basically. So that means red hair. I never actually cast the summon itself. I only used it via Yatima. It's normal, multi-attack rates and 35% echo for one turn. Not much to say about it. My fully leveled Soul Invoker got used for EX Plus and lower nightmares because the extra supplemental damage was very, very handy in those very short fights. Never actually used the call. Archangel Summon Mika. Also, basically just a grid piece for the summon slot. Never used the call itself. Very good stats. Summer Belial. Yeah, still stuck at 0 stars, but burst friendly. Can help with some like if you're trying to squeeze extra damage. But also alongside him, I forgot about Summer Beelzebub, whomst is maxed out. Yeah, no. 2 million extra plane damage at the end of the turn early on. Yeah, it's good. He should have been alongside Belial. It doesn't warrant like elaborating though. And Bahamut. Bahamut was used a couple of times, but mostly just to amplify summon call damage and the lower cooldown cuts. Bahamut is still... I still like Bahamut as a summon. I think he is good. Now, the tier of disappointment / experimenting. And the top of this tier is, unfortunately, Roy Mustang. So, he disappoints because the boss was out to get him. Like, he is strong. There is no doubt about it. However, the amount of hits that he needs to perform to dispel unironically killed him every time. When I ran him in like 250, every time the reflect came up, he was dying. Because he just deals so many hits with his abilities that the reflect has the opportunity to kill him before he dispels it. So, unfortunately, I didn't see a way to incorporate him without him dying. He was still decently strong until he died. But, yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate because he was very promising. Now, next one is Sato, which is probably the worst full auto unit in Fire based on charge attacks, you can imagine. Because her most important ability is not full autoable. I still used her a couple of times and she performed pretty decently, but the fact that she is just so incredibly full auto unfriendly is just discounting her for me. I did use her, but I'm not exactly satisfied with the outcomes. Neza, which is my my choice for Anetics this year. Where is he hiding? Where is he? There. So this character like desperately needs full LB because he has no dispels. He has no like specific, like he's decently strong, but he needs some help. Like I used him a couple of times, but I'm not satisfied with the outcome. Now we get to a funny fucking unit. Now we get to the funny. Where is my best boy? There he is. So, Wilnas. I actually used Wilnas a couple of times, and he should be on top of A tier. He was actually pretty decent. Like, it's not that his performance was like low, but his kit is nice. His kit is just genuinely nice. My question is, why in the high heavens are his abilities 12 turns and 8 turns respectively? Why such long cooldowns? Like, bro, help my boy. Help my boy become decent again. He's another character that suffers from Fated Chain not being present, but he actually performed pretty well in an Ogi based team because the extra damage and dispels are actually very nice. And the S3, yeah, also good. Because he just takes no damage and takes no debuffs. Please buff Vilnas. Like, this is my favorite character by a long shot. Please buff him. Please make 6 dragons, FLBs, and make him actually good. Because it's such a cool character does not deserve to be this bad in game. He performed admirably. But yeah, I have no delusions about him being like insane, you know? Oh, my fluffiest. Granduel. Used her very few times, and every time I used her, she would get nuked before. Sorry. She would get nuked before her first activation of her dance. I don't know what exactly happened there, but she didn't have any opportunities to become useful. Now, for probably the funniest part of this setup, I used him once, just to like find out what he actually does. I used Mugen, and the 250 cleared. He was like, he was okay-ish. Like the idea of a non-controllable character is strange, but I did clear with him. You know, it's kind of funny. No. Now. Leria. Omakase Leria. Yeah. Did use her a couple of times, but she's like survivability oriented. So I after a while I just switched to someone that was more offensive. She's good. She's very useful, and for example, if I was running Magna, I would probably use her a little bit more. Just because she helps the team stay alive very, very well. Now. My favorite gun maiden. Where are you there? Briefly used Silva as well. As an alternative to running Chrysor. So Versusia gets procced a little bit more. But overall, not very satisfied with the outcome. Because, like, I don't know. I'm not like comfortable to elaborate on the issue with her. She was alright. It's just I didn't use her for too long. Now weapons. Only a couple of weapons made it to this tier, and that's because their use was very brief, very brief. The first one is Phoenix Torch. Phoenix Torch was exclusively used as a grid piece. Considering I own both Higurashi and Blazing Mistral, I never basically swap from Lancer Origin or a Katana-based class, so Mana Diver is never present anymore, unfortunately. Maybe Wizard Origin will change that. But Phoenix Torch was exclusively used as a grid piece for the crit and healing cap. It was basically a flex slot, and that's all it did. This doesn't mean the weapon is bad. The weapon is extremely good, but it's just overshadowed by Higu and Blazing Mistral. It's good, but it's just I didn't at the end I didn't have space for it. Draconic weapon for fire. Situation was very similar to Phoenix Torch, but then again, foe is not a non-elemental, and the progression never got like high enough for it to pay off. And the level 20 Majesty is nice, but if I wanted Majesty, I can just run the level 25 Blazing Mistral as a grid piece. So if I wanted this, I can use a different weapon. It was the use of this weapon was very brief. Excalibur. Also try to make it work, but unironically, Heat of the Sun as a secondary weapon in this scenario was just better. There's no doubt in my mind that it was just better. So I used it a couple of times, didn't work out, so I swapped back. And now the last tier, B, which is not exactly low in strength, but these are the summons that I do have, but did not use. Which is Lothern. I did not use him because he is 0 stars. And even then, like this effect is not that useful. Warning, best music in the game playing. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Devil. The Devil. I just have the red hair. The passive is the same, and Devil has no exact use anymore. Summer Cerberus, also at 0 stars, so not using. And Lucifer, simply because high level fire is just decently stacked to the point where you don't really need the either healing specs or the call. And that would be the tier list. Now a couple of words about how the overall experience went. The Guild War for me was very comfortable. Like, at no point did I struggle to overcome like a problematic mechanic in the fight. Although the reflect was pretty brutal at times, because, for example, if Elmot unloaded on the boss while he reflect his up, he was almost guaranteed to die because of it. But overall, the guild was decently enjoyable. I, of course, didn't engage as much as I would have liked because work, unfortunately, takes the priority. So the overall performance could have been better. Like, in the situation where this entire week would have been up to myself, I would probably have gotten for... I probably would have went for top 2k. Simply because, yeah, I would have a free week during Guild War. I would probably just lock in and get top 2k and then never try again, because in my opinion, it's never getting easier now. Unless they make like Nightmare 300, 350, and 400, and those runs have like crazy ratios if you manage to clear them. This thing is not getting easier to obtain. Because like when you just look at top 2k being 50 billion, like that's kind of ridiculous. And not only that, top 100k is 6.4. Those like the honor inflation is going crazy right now, and it shows no signs of stopping. The simple like fact of the matter is, if you're trying to get top 2k, prepare yourselves for the next guild war and actually just lock in as hard as you can, because it might be the case that in some distant or not so distant future, top 2k will just not be available for people for regular mortals, you know. I still, yeah, my congratulations to the people that locked in and actually got to top 2k. Impressive stuff, because yeah, 50 billion is not small amounts. But overall, do I have something else to speak about? Well, yeah, there are still a couple of like unknowns in this specific guild war, because for example, I don't have Mikaboshi, thus I cannot use her. I don't have Parashurama, so I cannot use him. I did not use Maria Teresa because I don't need defense. But overall, the things that you should understand about how setups in Granblue work. Primal will always basically beat Magna right now. And it doesn't really matter the element, because, yeah, like Primal is the premium option. Depending on how you like achieve that status of being like going primal is up to you basically. Because I myself brute forced my Agni to 250 while using 2 actual Agni copies. I had 2 copies of Agni, the base one and 1 copy. I used many sunlight stones and many gold moons to just get it to 250. It paid off in my case because I was pretty decently prepared. I like my weaponry for the element is very good. Like it's very stacked. I'm just missing some like crucial parts like Rheinfist, but that's just if you want to optimize and get your crit to 100% every single time. But I'm missing Rheinfist, I'm missing Mikaboshi gauntlets, and yeah, and that would be all that I'm actually not currently having. But okay, as a closing statement, because I've been here over an hour already, and the song is about to finish. Good in Gold Guild War. Illustrious Weapons Transcendence raised them in power very high. They are extremely powerful. Primal is very strong now. And the... What do I want to say even? Yeah, I cannot really wait until they announce the next Guild War. And we get to cook with some new toys when that rolls around. So, if you made it to this point, thank you for watching, listening, and just interacting. These videos are not gonna be as frequent now because I'm mostly out of topics, and I will focus on just getting my current goal, which is raising fifth to 150, because I've gotten a lapis merit now, so I'm gonna be focusing on getting my my light Versusia clear, and after that my dark Versusia clear, so I can have my destroyers, all elements ready. Yeah. Not really much theory crafting involved, but yeah. Again, thank you for watching or listening. I will be seeing or hearing you guys in a little bit. See ya.